Hey guys, it's finally Friday and this is Laura Craigie, a garden girl here at twopeasinabucket.com, and we're going to do a card from start to finish today. And for the start of my card, I've used my silhouette machine to cut this out. And you can see the card's got a window flap here. And the reason I chose to do this one is I thought if you guys have a silhouette machine, you can do it, and that's great. And if you don't, it would be really easy to replicate with an X-Acto knife or your paper trimmer, and you can get the exact same effect. Now, the gist of this card is that I will adhere this part down, probably even sew it with my sewing machine, and then basically the recipient's just going to open the flap, and that's where the card's sentiment, or you can write your sentiment in on the inside. So I'm going to use or cover the entire front of the card with a background stamp, but there's this little notch here you can see, so I don't want the stamp to go through there, so I'm going to put a post-it note on the inside. And that way you can see that I'm not going to have my stamp bleed through there. And I'm going to use this wood grain stamp from Hero Arts. I just got this. I kind of have been wanting it for a long time and finally made the plunge and bought it. And I'm so glad I did. So I'm just going to ink it up with a Versamark here because I'm going to heat emboss it. I just want a tone-on-tone look for the card. I have that inked up. I'm just going to press it down onto it. One of these days I should really invest in a brayer, but for now I'm just going to use my fingertips. Make sure I have a good impression. Okay. Peel it back. And I'm just going to get a piece of scratch paper here to collect my embossing powder. And then just pour it on. I'm sure there's a neater way of doing this, but it's okay, it doesn't bother me. Okay. I'm just going to shake it around to make sure it gets good coverage there. Okay. And then I'm just going to clean up my mess here. Okay, so I'm going to heat emboss the stamped image now. I always find that heating the backside of it too helps not eliminate wrinkles, but certainly minimize them. So I have my card front there. You can see it's all nice and glossy. And then when you cut the thing out with the silhouette, it also cuts out a duplicate of the front panel here. So I'm thinking I might use that. It covers up a lot of the embossing, but I like that it's just around the perimeter of the card there. And I'm going to embellish the front of the card with a manila tag here. This is just, I honestly can't remember which company made this. It's an old one I've had hanging around. It's just a plain old shipping tag that you can get at an office supply store, or there's lots of companies that do make them. I think Tattered Angels and Ranger and things like that. So, and I actually think I'm going to replace the kind of plain twine here, and I'm going to get some baker's twine. Kind of a gray, ashy color here. Where is my scissors? I don't know. Okay, here's some old ones. Okay. And then I just grab the two ends like that, push it through, and then do a loop. And then what I do is just cut it, and then I'll tie these into a little knot. Actually, I cut it shorter than I wanted there, but oh well. So for that reason, I may just leave them like that. And then I have this piece of pattern paper. This is from the October Afternoon 8x8 pad for a farmhouse. And it's just the little images of vintage button cards. I think I'm going to use this one and just cut it out. just going for a bit of a layered look on this. And now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine. I'll probably add a few decorative stitches on this panel, and then I'm actually going to sew down, like I said, the outside edges here. So just give me a moment. Okay, so I finished the sewing. I did 2 little stitch lines around the perimeter of the card there, so you can see it opens perfectly. Really cute. And then I just did a zigzag stitch, along the bottom of this front panel for the card, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. And I'm going to add quite a bit of adhesive since it is going over the embossed image, just to make sure it really sticks. Okay, so there's our card so far. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next part of the card, which is the sentiment. And I'm going to use these little Doodles cardstock stickers from Doodlebug. I love these little sentiment stickers. They're kind of the cutest little font. And I tend to be a sucker for things that are in script. So I'm just going to really carefully peel it off because it's quite delicate. And again, I'm just, fiddling those till I get them in the right spot. I think that's pretty good there. And because this is a little button card, I think it's a little bit appropriate and needed that I should add some buttons to this. So I'm going to go with the same lines just so the tones match and use the farmhouse buttons from October Afternoon. And I've picked out a few of them here. And I think just kind of lining them up like that. My goal for this card is to keep it a little on the masculine side and not overly feminine like I usually do. And on the two-piece message board a while back, someone had posted, this was quite a while back, someone had posted a thread about the best tricks and tips that they had learned over the years, and this is one, okay, it's hard to see here, sorry, maybe see it in here. It's a little floss thing for people, I believe it's for people with braces to stick the dental floss through to make it easier to floss. And what someone had said they had learned is it makes it easier to put something thicker like twine through buttons, and not if you let it fall out like that, but I thought it was a great trick and it really does make it easier to put twine through buttons. There you don't have to worry about licking it and doing things like that. And I'm just going to pull it through till it's there. Again, I lost my sharp scissors, sorry. And I'm going to adhere it with a glue dot. I tend to add things like buttons as afterthoughts, so I don't usually think ahead to adhere it or to add it to the card and actually stitch it through before I adhere it. So glue dots are a fabulous way to use buttons as afterthoughts without planning ahead. Okay, so, oh no. Okay, the bow here, there we go. Not actually totally loving the bow in the end. I might shorten it to see if shortening the tails helps me. Okay, I'm happier with that. Okay, this is the finished card. I'm done now. I think it's kind of cute. It's a little bit different and, you know, a little more on the masculine side. And I am going to go ahead and dot the 2 eyes when I'm done and turn off the camera. But I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two or just enjoyed sitting watching along with me. And I hope I will catch you next time on Finally Friday. Have a great weekend.